Welcome everybody to the Bitcoin Minute. I'm your host Joseph Wagner, and in this week's episode, we are going to discuss some upcoming events and how that may affect Bitcoin's price in the near term. Welcome to the rabbit hole. Ahead of tomorrow's FOMC meeting, Bitcoin is trading in a rather mild, subdued manner, not moving much either way, as traders await tomorrow's FOMC meeting. Now, while it is widely anticipated that the Federal Reserve will neither cut nor raise rates in this month's meeting, it is the verbiage that they use in the statement and the press conference, along with the newly revised dot plot, that will be most widely scrutinized by traders and will have an effect on Bitcoin's price. With traders widely expecting neither a rate cut nor a rate hike this month, it is the newly revised dot plot that will be the catalyst for Bitcoin either moving higher or lower. The last two FOMC meetings had a dramatic effect on Bitcoin's price. If we go back and look at those two, we had one meeting in March 19th, ending on March 20th. As you can see, that first day, we had a dramatic sell-off of over $5,000, only to recover the following day. The last FOMC meeting to occur happened on April 30th and concluded on May 1st. We can see that the last FOMC meeting had a dramatic effect on price, bringing it to its lowest level since the halving event, falling around 9% during those 2 days. Now, this FOMC meeting has the potential to do that again. Whether or not it's to the upside or downside will be reliant on the dot plot provided. However, it is looking as though the Federal Reserve will most likely be hawkish with the data that came in recently, including last week's new payroll report. That is going to decrease the chances of the Federal Reserve cutting rates. The reason why this FOMC meeting has the likelihood of providing a dramatic break to either direction is based on a chart pattern that Bitcoin has recently developed and been enveloped in since the last FOMC meeting concluded on May 1st. And the pattern I'm referring to is known as a flat top ascending bottom, otherwise known as an ascending triangle. It is characterized as a series of higher lows and a series of stable highs. Bitcoin has had several failed attempts at cracking above $72,000, which is where ultimate resistance lies right now. If it does manage to break to the upside, we could see Bitcoin easily trading up to $80,000 or more. If it does break to the downside, we could see a revisit to $56,000 or $57,000. While this pattern can signal a continuation, it is not necessarily bullish or bearish, and the direction it breaks to is still undecided and will likely be decided at tomorrow's FOMC meeting and its conclusion on Wednesday. Bitcoin has been resilient, nonetheless, since the fall from grace and its subsequent low that it made on last FOMC meeting's conclusion. Since that time, we have seen Bitcoin trade with higher lows and lower highs, and since the middle of May, it has managed to hold the 20-day exponential moving average. If Bitcoin were to fall and break to the downside, which I see as having a higher probability than to the upside, we could see Bitcoin fall to various support levels, because there is many support levels that lie between here and 56,000. If Bitcoin were to break lower, we could see support come in anywhere from 66,000, we have support at 64,000, and we have support at 60,000. Any one of those levels could provide support for Bitcoin should it break to the downside. To the upside, however, there's only one minor level, and that is at $74,000. One way to determine where we can forecast a breakout to lead us to is by taking the widest range of the ascending triangle and simply adding or subtracting that to the breakout as such. Now we can see that the range at the widest part of the triangle is $15,000. So if we get a break to the downside, $15,000 could take us all the way down to approximately $54,000. To the upside, we could see Bitcoin track as high as $85,000. Where that break will occur and to which direction, again, is largely going to be dependent on Wednesday's FOMC meeting conclusion and the release of the newly revised dot plot. That is likely to mark an end to Bitcoin's low volatility that it has witnessed recently. So traders, be prepared to act accordingly. That's it for this show. Talk to you next time.